cooking champagne. It is the new year, and like most of you, at the beginning of the new year, I really try to lighten the load a little bit and make some healthier choices, exercise a little bit more, drink a little bit more water, except for when we're drinking champagne, and really try to get the new year started off on the right foot. And for me personally, I find that I tend to make better, lighter, healthier choices throughout the day if I get a good, light and healthy start to my day. These are some really great breakfast options that I'm gonna show y'all. I have 3 super quick and easy make ahead recipes, which makes them even better. Because if you're like me, you can prep this on like a Sunday afternoon when you have the time, and then you have it ready to go throughout the whole week, so there's no excuse to fall off the track. So the first one that we're gonna put together are these little frittata egg cups. They are so yummy and delicious. What's great about these is that there's really no wrong way to make them. You can put whatever kind of protein in it you want. You could put whatever kind of veggies in it that you want. You could leave it just straight eggs, honestly, if you wanted to. There is no wrong, wait, I already said that, brain fart. Where was I going with that? So what we're gonna do first is we have our oven preheated to 400 degrees, and this recipe is gonna make about 10 egg cups ideally, which is the perfect amount for me because I like to eat maybe 1 or 2 a day, so these will cover me throughout the whole week. So the first thing I'm gonna start with is getting my breakfast sausage heated up. This is just regular pork breakfast sausage. You can lighten the calories if you wanted to use chicken or turkey, whatever you like. Bacon would also be a really great option as well. So I'm just gonna put this in my skillet, and we're just gonna break it up a little bit and get it to start browning. So we have our breakfast sausage in here. This was about 1/4 pound, like I said, of some pork breakfast sausage. And now we're gonna add it. And now we're gonna add in our chopped veggies. So this is just veggies that I had in my produce store that I wanted to use. Had some very stressed out mushrooms, 2 cloves of garlic, about 1/4 of a yellow onion, about 1/4, I would say, of a large green bell pepper, and then also half of a pretty small zucchini. Again, you can add in whatever seasonings and veggies that you like. And then we're gonna season it up, of course, with some salt and some pepper. And because I can't cook anything without adding this, good old slappy mama. Just for that nice heat. So we have our veggie and sausage mixture all cooked down. We let it saute for about like 10 minutes or so. Let it cool for a few minutes, and as I was letting it cool, I went ahead and cracked some eggs. I have 8 eggs in here, and I went ahead and added in about 3/4 of a cup of milk. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in my meat and veggie mixture to my eggs. Try not to splatter eggs on myself. So now what I have here is, I like to use these bowls that have these spouts on it. It makes it kind of easier to pour it all in, but sometimes I find that the veggies and the meat sink to the bottom. So what I actually like to do, what I find is an easy way, is I just get a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and I just scoop out a 1/4 cup, and it fills these little muffin tins almost perfectly. So I'm just gonna scoop these out and fill my muffin tins. so we have these all filled. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to not fill them as much as I did, because they will puff up, but as they cool, they're gonna come back down. So I filled them all up, got 10 perfectly. I love when I'm right on the money. And then I sprinkled some cheese. This was just a mixture, like a Mexican blend cheese mixture. You can add whatever cheese you like. So we have our oven preheated at 400 degrees. We're gonna pop these bad boys in. It's gonna take about like 10 or so minutes. You pretty much just want them to set and get nice and golden on top, and they're gonna be so good. So let's put them in. So the second breakfast I'm gonna show you are these really, really delicious oat banana pancakes. These are so good. I just recently started making these the last few weeks and I'm totally obsessed with them. It's a great way to use any kind of overripe bananas you may have lying around. They're healthy, so you don't feel as bad about them as if you were to go get some hotcakes from McDonald's. And what's great is that you can put this batter together like on a Sunday afternoon when you have a little extra time, and then just leave it in the fridge. And then in the morning, when you're heading out the door for work, if you wanna make yourself a quick little pancake, just stir it up good. If it seems a little too thick, add a little bit more milk, pour yourself a pancake out, and you got breakfast there to go, ready. It's so simple and easy. So first, what we're gonna do is add in the main part of this, and that is our oats. So you're just gonna use any kind of regular oats, nothing fancy. We're gonna need 1.5 cups. So we got our cup here, and this would work really well in a blender, like if you have one of those like NutriBullets. I don't have one of those. My little handy dandy immersion blender always works just fine. So that was a cup. Now we're gonna add in about 1/2 cup. And then to that, we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. If you don't have baking powder, a little trick that I've seen people do before is you can actually do baking soda mixed with some type of yogurt, whether it's regular yogurt or Greek yogurt. Obviously, there's something in that combination of the two that creates a similar reaction like baking powder. I don't really know. But we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, keep these nice and light and fluffy. And then we're gonna add in our banana. I really like to use, like I said, ripe bananas for this because they're so much sweeter. You don't really have to add any sugar to this, but regular bananas work just fine, and I love bananas, so this is a great way to use them up. And I just kind of break it up in there, just like so. So now what we're gonna do is add in some milk. You can use almond milk for this. I'm not gonna lie, I've actually used like flavored coffee creamer before. I don't know why, I thought the flavor of it would taste really good. This is just good old regular milk, and we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of that. And then for a little bit of sweetness, we're gonna add some honey, about a tablespoon or 2. Just eyeball it. Beautiful. And then now we're gonna add in 2 eggs. And then last but not least, and this is totally optional, I'm gonna add in a little sprinkle of cinnamon, just cause why not? All right, so now you could blend this up in a blender. You could probably even use a food processor. Whatever you have on hand, whatever works. But what I have here is this little immersion blender, and it's pretty cool little gadget. So I have the blend attachment. This is the one that they recommend to use for smoothies, so I figured it worked pretty well for this. So we're just gonna go in, stand back, pray it doesn't make a mess, and blend all this up. So we got it all blended up, and what I love about these kind of cups is that they come with a lid. So once you make your pancake batter, just pop the lid on it, keep it in the fridge, and you've got pancake mix ready to go. So, just because I'm hungry, we're gonna make one of these bad boys now. So a little bit of butter, you know, we're keeping it light with the pancake mix so we can afford to have some butter. And we're just gonna pour this in. It's gonna look a little thin, but I promise it's gonna make a really good pancake. And I like using these little small skillets for pancakes because it's like the perfect size. And I think we all know how to cook a pancake. But while it's still wet on top, because I can't leave well enough alone, we're gonna put some chocolate. Because Why not? All right, y'all, so the last quick and easy make ahead breakfast I'm gonna show y'all is overnight oats. These are so awesome because you can put them together and they stay great in the fridge for like 2 to 3 days. You can put whatever kind of flavorings you want in there, put whatever kind of toppings you love on the top, whether it's fruit or chocolate if you wanna be a little bad. Either way, these are super good. So, first thing we need is a little mason jar or any type of, glass container with a lid, something that it can sit in overnight. So the first thing we're gonna add in is half a cup of milk. And you can use almond milk if you wanted to keep this a little bit on the lighter side. And then we're gonna add in some honey. If you wanted to, you could do like maple syrup, whatever you have on hand, agave, whatever you like. And as you can tell, I'm almost out of my honey, Dad. We're just gonna put a little tiny drizzle in there, not a ton. And then we're gonna add in some peanut butter. 2 tablespoons of your favorite type of peanut butter. It can be smooth, crunchy, whatever you like. So we're just gonna mix this up now. We have all of our wet ingredients in here. And the peanut butter doesn't have to be totally incorporated into the milk. Don't stress yourself out. If it looks a little lumpy, bumpy, clumpy, that's fine. We're just trying to get it kind of started. And then now we're gonna add in the oats to our overnight oats. And we're just gonna add in half a cup. Sure that all of your oats are submerged under the milk. So if you feel like you need a little splash more milk, just add it in. So this looks perfect. I'm just gonna pop the lid on, let it take a little nighty-night in the fridge, and we've got breakfast.